Hey Bronco Nation, let's talk some sports. Leading off, the 18-5 UCO Broncos baseball team are back in action tonight, taking on their rival, the Northeastern State Riverhawks. The Broncos faced the Riverhawks a total of 3 times this year, the first being tonight at the top of the hour, March 26th in Tahlequah, and April 9th back here in Edmond. Game time is once again at 5 p.m. and streaming on the MIAA network. On to the wrestling mat, the Bronco wrestling team took all the hardware from the MIAA end-of-season awards. Head honcho Todd Steidley took home Coach of the Year honors, 197-pounder Dalton Abney won Wrestler of the Year for the conference, and 184-pounder Garrett Wells won Freshman of the Year. You can see Abney, Wells, and the rest of the Broncos in search of back-to-back national titles starting this Friday in Wichita, Kansas. To the ice, the UCO Broncos hockey team's quest for a national title is over. Last night in St. Louis, the Chos fought valiantly against the UNLV Rebels, but couldn't skate past them as the Rebels won 6-4 in the national semifinals. The Broncos finished the year with a record of 26-8-2 on the year. Congrats to them on an excellent season. Now to the historic Jim Norick Arena. The small school state basketball tournaments wrapped up this weekend, and UCentral's Mark Lowe brings us a recap of the 6 title games.
It's the promised land of every coach and player in 4A and below. Every bus ride, every halftime speech, every buzzer beater, it all leads here. Welcome to the Big House.
Starting out the day, Bethany looks to go back-to-back against Lincoln Christian in a rematch of last year's Women's 4A Finals. Keziah Lofton picks up the loose ball and gets the easy jump shot for the Broncos. Lincoln Christian responding, Hallie Kitchen with a pass to Audrey Hopkins underneath for an easy 2 for the Bulldogs. But the Broncos would not be taken over. Caden Donnelly with the drive to the basket. She had 17 on the day and helped push the Broncos past the Bulldogs to go back-to-back with a dominant 48-28 win. Over to the 3A Boys Championship, Oklahoma Christian School taking on the defending champion Millwood Falcons. It was a physical game, starting with Millwood's Chris Clay with a beautiful 3-pointer from the Falcons, but OCS responded fast. Junior Insignaba with a 3 to push OCS to the 31-15 lead at the half. Chris Clay out of the half for Millwood with another 3 to keep the Falcons in it, but OCS's Luke Gray had none of that, hitting a 3 of his own from the corner. He had 22 points on an astounding day for him. Millwood isn't out of it just yet. A missed shot from Ben Ramsdale gets rebounded by Jeff Huffmeyer for the quick 2, but it was not enough, and the fourth quarter comeback falls just short as OCS takes the 3A boys title 55-50. Time for the 2A women's game between Dale and Merritt. A slower game to be sure, but still a good one as Marley Mong seeks one from deep to start the day off. Wasn't long before Addison Hartman found some rhythm too, driving to the basket for the quick jumper, but the Pirates responded fast. Teague Muncie played physical all game and got a great layup here, and she said one wasn't enough and got another to keep the Lady Pirates in the game late, but it just wasn't enough, and the Lady Oilerettes complete the run. Second block of games started with a 4A boys title between Douglas and Weatherford. Highest scoring game of the day starts out with CJ Nixon. Bomb from the corner to get the Eagles off to a good start. Nixon with the most points on the day with 26, but here's Douglas's Jaden Nickens, the Oklahoma commit, so you better remember his name, makes a physical drive to the basket for 2, and he's also a deep threat, sinking this ball in for 3 from deep. Eagles responding though, Nate Rayerman with a little step back 3 to keep the pressure on, and Ethan Sage picking up a loose ball and taking it the distance, slamming it down to head into overtime. Jaden Nickens would not be denied, and he says, that's cool, I can do it too. And Douglas gets the big time win 72-69 over Weatherford. 3A women's game, Battle of the Warriors featuring Ida Bell and Washington. Another high-scoring affair. Started out with a deflected pass and quick pass from Mercedes Lopez to Jalen Cothran. Another one to remember in this game to give Ida Bell the early lead. A little repeat in the second quarter from Kelby Beller of Washington, who was able to find the opening and get the jump shot and get Washington the 2-point lead headed into the half. Right out of the gate, Beller finds Brianna Lindert for an easy 2 to give Washington momentum coming out of the half, but it wouldn't last long. Cothran hit a series of 3s to get Ida Bell on top of Washington as time expired, and they take the title 64-56. Finally to the last one of the day, Dale taking on Pecola for the 2A title. Quick jumper from Easton Edmondson to start out the night to give Dale a fast lead, but Austin Hardwick one-ups him with a quick 3 before half to bring it within 5, but Dale would not be denied as OU commit Dayton Forsyth gets a hard 2 points with the jumper and gives us his best SGA impression, driving and step-back jumper to give Dale its 3rd straight title with a 63-38 win. A long day at the Big House that saw dreams become reality finally comes to a close. From the historic Jim Norick Arena at the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds, for UCentral News, I'm Mark Lowe.
Thank you so much, Mark. Congrats to all those state champions. Finally, the Thunder are back in action tonight in the 405, taking on Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers entered tonight's game with a record of 36-29, good enough for 7th in the East. The Thunder remain at the top of the Western Conference with a record of 45-19. The previously mentioned Halliburton and the Thunder's SGA will be a very exciting matchup tonight. Expect a high-scoring affair from these two teams. Game time is tonight at 7 p.m. on Bally Sports Oklahoma. I'm super excited for this Thunder-Pacers matchup. I'm going to watch it after going to the UCO baseball game tonight. That starts in just a few minutes. Mark, Georgia, this Thunder game is going to be one you don't want to miss. Back to you two at the desk.